And our newspaper reviewer, Chukudi, the ever-vibrant Chukudi Okolugbaja, is seated in the studio looking...
Put him down.
Always joyful.
Sometimes he asks himself, what is the matter with you? Cool down now. Good morning, Jumei.
Good morning.
My dear Mrs. John. How are you doing?
Very well.
You know, I had to tell somebody on the platform for journalists that you're Mrs. John. And people were over talking.
So me, when somebody asks you, what do you say?
You are a respectable
Miss
single woman.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very
You got class. I don't hide it. You'll see you guys.
Let's quickly go to the papers. I'll begin with this Nigeria. This Nigeria just beside the masthead. Nigeria's inflation dips to 16.05% as food prices drop. Find the details on page 18. And below the picture story, Tinubu to judges ensure integrity of the judiciary. You find the details on page 9. And Wike and Rule of Law by J.B. Dauda, SAN. If you want to know what it's all about, you find the details on 5 and 7. And at the bottom plate of this Nigeria, PDP fights to finish as factions storm secretariat today. Find details on page 2. Anyanwu National Secretary, we won't allow dissidents draw us back. And Turaki Ibadan Convention Chair, we are prepared to lay down our lives for the party. And the headlines, bandits kidnap 25 schoolgirls in Kebbi, kill vice principal. With riders, FD orders swift rescue operation, and U.S. Congress to probe Nigeria's CPC designation. Find all the details on page 2. Nyere?
All right, let's see the leadership now. The leadership, of course, also has the story of the 25 kidnapped girls, but just a different caption here. Just looking away from that now, we have Zulum calls for joint military operation in Lake Chad. That can be found on page 17 of the leadership. Below that, justice must never be for sale. President tells judiciary. And away from all of the stories, just beside the picture story above the masthead, we have Fayose attacks Obasanjo, says he has dementia. Details on page 4. Unresolved issues, varsity lecturers threaten fresh showdown with government. That can be found on page 8. And finally, we have inflation rates slows to 16.1% in October as food prices hit 8-year low. All right, let's see the blueprint now. Of course, the 25 kidnapped girls happens to be on all the papers this morning, making headlines. That's also right here. And the caption says, go rescue 25 Kebbi college girls. Tinubu orders security agencies. The riders, police, military, vigilantes begin manhunt. Abbas Atiku orders condemn abduction. Above that lead story, just above the masthead, we have Sultan to federal government sustain increased budgetary allocations for education, and that can be found on page 10. Looking below the picture story, we also have the comments by the president at the judiciary conference yesterday, where made a lot of very, very important statements. This one says, justice must never be for sale, digital transparent judiciary necessity. Says will support effort at preserving judicial integrity. Below that, Imo, Abia traders confirm drop in price of food items. And in the green strip at the bottom of the front page, we decongested correctional centers by 5%, saved federal government 1 billion naira. That's according to the minister. So that's about it on the papers this morning. Chukwudi.
I will quickly talk about Wike and the rule of law, and that's because of the personality, who's talking about it, J.B. Dauda. I had the opportunity to visit J.B. Dauda at home up to 3 times because he had to comment on the integrity of Justice Akas, one of our models of integrity, the Luxterra, it was a Luxterra project. That's a man whom I said, these children, how did you train them? He said, I trained the first 2 and the others trained the other people. Did you hear that? I trained the first 2 and they trained the other ones for me. Imagine the kind of discipline in that home. I'm going to read this stuff because of the personality writing about Wike. The Wike matter, I have written my own piece about it. I'm one of the people who say Wike must build in decorum into talking to us, not just, he must build in decorum into talking to us. he wouldn't be allowed to talk like that as a member of a cabinet in the UK or the US. Anything just can't go here.
Can't go.
But after that, I'm a journalist, I tell you, go beyond the vessel, go beyond the messenger and say the message. Subordination of everybody under civil rule is at the end of the day for me. That's my own editorial on the matter. Anyhow, please let me quickly talk about our media icon who died, Dan Agbese. I happen to be one of those who followed them, diligently. I had the privilege of listening to good journalists, and I thank God that some of it seems to be in me. I said seems. I didn't say it's in me, so don't challenge me. Okay? Now, Dan Agbese's editorials were just in a class of their own. One of the colleagues he worked with in Newswatch, is it Larry Babarinsa or Larry Babarinsa? He said he was a good editor, you know. I don't quite agree with David Mark here when he says death marks end of an era, because Yakubu Mohammed and Ray, they are still there. Yes, but he's trying to say how this man's stature, he was really matador.
I used to call them the Four Horsemen.
The Four Horsemen. Dan Agbese, Delegiwa, Ray Ekbu, and Yakubu Mohammed. Yes, they were in a class of their own. My dear, if we have to, I will explain these people to you later. Okay.
That's below the belt.
I came looking for trouble. I'm not here. And now 25 kidnap school girls again, and you say not again.
Not again. It made me sad.
Igbo people will say Ozoemena.
My whole day was.
May it not happen again. It throws us back not just to those days where physical combat was a gentleman's recreation. You know, those days where we shared mannerisms with animals. You can't do this. Do you know what this means? Somebody could get forced into pregnancy in the next 3 months.
Yes, true.
And that life will just change totally.
So painful.
Ruined.
Totally.
I think the presidency has not just given an instruction. He has given an instruction that must be obeyed. Those girls must be sought and brought back wherever they are. They must.
He gave not
in
just
good time.
In good time.
Not just an
before
instruction,
harm happens to them.
Order. Boots
It doesn't make sense. You alter somebody's life just like that. No, now. I don't like getting emotional because my tears have been many.
I was emotional yesterday. I just said, not again.
Yes.
And we still keep out of school children, just like we were discussing with Henry before we came on air. We keep encouraging for children to go back to school, and we keep talking about the Safe School Initiative. What is it?
That's it. You know, there isn't enough synergy between the security forces and the civilian populace in terms of fighting insurgency. That is what is happening. See something, say something is not working as much as it should. You can't come and spirit them away just like that. Somebody saw something. Somebody even knows where they are now. You know, they could, out of fear of being singled out by terrorists and bandits, not talk. Then some could just be doing it for reasons you can't explain.
They are not ghosts.
The truth
they just
is,
didn't appear.
See something, say something would only work when, if you say something, you don't see something.
You don't see something.
I don't understand that.
Right? See something,
you'll not be
say
targeted,
something.
you'll not be exposed.
Yeah, but in some cases, when you say something, you get to
see something.
Yes.
Something unpleasant.
Exactly.
That's
so
it.
when people who give out information are protected,
it's a major deterrent.
Yes, it's an issue.
You have a point.
What's
happening between Fayose and Obasanjo? Obasanjo is a man you just have to learn to live with.
Yes.
I said my experience there when I was one of AIT reporters who was sent to cover his Thanksgiving at Owu Baptist Church, Trust Chukudi. I extended my hand to greet him. That day was feeding pieces of meat in Jibril Aminu's mouth. I extended my hand to greet him. The man looked at me for almost 1 minute. I stayed stubborn. Obasanjo eventually shook hands with me. And I said, thank God for us. I would have claimed I was one of the people who prophesied he would become the president of Nigeria. But that's not the point. The point is, Obasanjo is a peculiar character. You just have to learn to live with him.
Obasanjo is an institution.
No.
Generations
No. Chukwuma Nzogu's mother. Look, I've seen action.
Look.
Chukwuma Nzogu's mother made me respect Obasanjo.
People might forget. Yes.
But for Obasanjo, I would have died a long time ago.
That
was when I was a small teacher in Onicholona. He came to see Chukwuma Nzogu's baptismal father, Diokpa Jikeme. That was where I saw the woman with the Adam's apple, taller than most men, Chukwuma Nzogu's mother. I have books to write.
What I always say is, when it comes to politics, people might forget Fayose in the next 50 years, but nobody can forget
Obasanjo is a deed with so many names. The man is an enigma, whether you like it or not.
But for me, the way I see this story, I just see it as not a good example to the younger ones.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Because there are ways you can talk to an elder like Obasanjo. With the kind of things I'm reading in the papers.
I didn't even want to go there because I'll go judgmental. Particularly for somebody from his segment of this country where people respect people a lot. I don't like to talk about Nigeria's
Okay, let's leave that
But
now.
this one is positive.
Let's talk about the PDP fight to finish. Today they're going to storm the secretariat.
Lola Ibueku, one of the people who taught me news writing, I'm saying this again for the uptime time. Those who fight to the finish usually end up finishing themselves. PDP has to be careful.
It has to be careful.
I see ADC after 2027 taking over from PDP. That's what I see. Yes, watch out.
You're not a politician.
I'm not a politician. I'm not Pastor Chukudi or Prophet Chukudi.
Politicians have a way.
But watch out.
They do their calculations.
Okay.
So you cannot be too sure.
Maybe they calculate. They'll never find me in their midst.
U.S. Congress to probe Nigeria CPC's designation. I think it's the Congress is going.
Well, the fact that they want to debate it, the fact that they want to debate it means that they're not going to allow Trump ride roughshod over every other person. You can see how I've been sweeping my space all this time. I'm in a very happy mood. Trump comes, look at the way he just broke with Marjorie Green.
Yes.
One of the people who were die-hard Trump supporters.
During the campaign.
She says, I am tired of toxic politics.
Politics, exactly.
That is how Trump will keep on losing.
I've forgotten the word he described her with. It's
something lunatic. When I sit at home, I go from BBC to Al Jazeera, from Al Jazeera. Those classrooms are the best for any journalist, You see how it could have been in our country, So it is okay that the Congress is saying that we will look into it. So it's not just Trump railroading everybody into thinking the same way. That is what I'm interested in.
All right, it's time to round up. Since you have talked about Trump, I think we can end with this quote. The quote says, "It is better to be hated for what you are than to be loved for what you are not."
Yes, that's the only way you can be internally happy, knowing you have been true to yourself and the environment.
Great. Chukwudi, thank you for revealing your true self to us and being
a loud mouth. It's okay. We all know these things.
I didn't say
Stop assassinating my bad character. It's not fair.
I gently walk out of the studio, Mr. Chukwudi.
Thank you, Chukwudi. Have a great day.
Broadcasting is sweet.